Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day. Maybe you're just coming from our previous workshop just 30 minutes ago. Great to see you again. This is going to be the next kind of installment and last and final workshop of the layer hack with zkSync. So you are in the right place. This will be the final one to really understand how to build with zkSync 2.0. I'm Steve. I'm the program manager here at Encode Club. Would love to chat with all you guys and see what you're building, but a little update, you can still register for the hackathon. So if you haven't already, you can still register. I'll post some resources here in the next few minutes if you would like to still register, as well as some dates. But without further ado, would like to introduce our speaker for today, Andrey. He's a product manager at zkSync. He's going to teach us today in depth about zkSync 2.0 and kind of understand in more detail. So I'll pass it over to you for today's workshop. If you have any questions, please make sure to put them in the chat and we will answer them kind of at the end as kind of a cool Q&A style. So thanks, everybody. Andrey, thanks for being here today. We really appreciate it. And we'll pass it back to you.
Yep, thank you guys. Give me a sec. I will share a screen. So yep, thanks for having me. Yep, I just want to share the presentation. So yeah, my name is Andrey. I'm so glad to be there. Today I want to, I know that you already had one workshop with my colleague Philip in Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So today, I will not go so deeply in technical details, but I will share with you, more practical tips about our features and which things you already can start to build with us. And so today I think we will have next agenda. Something like 30 minutes will last for my workshop. After that, we will have a nice Q&A session. So today, my end goal will be that in the end of this meeting, you will have a clear understanding what is zkSync, what is zero knowledge proofs in general. So why actually we are building it, features which you can find only with our solution. I will explain how you can port your existing applications, your existing dApps into our network, and how you can start to build from the scratch. Also, we will talk with you a lot about security because it's really important topic for us. And the last slide will be about getting started and next steps. So yeah, let's go. And one really important thing for me, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to write them down in our chat so that in future you will not forget these questions, because for me, really important. So I will answer all of your questions in the end. And I will try to, have an answers for your question in advance during the presentation. So let's go. Right now, I just want ask you to have in mind one thought, that we are really mission-driven company. You can see this from the presentation of our CPO, Steve, or Alex. You see how we always talking about our mission. And our mission currently is to break financial barriers and enhance the world's freedom by accelerating the mass adoption of public blockchains. And we have this, as a culture code of our company. We have the stuff even during the hiring process. So please keep this mission in mind during whole my presentation. You will understand why I'm really asking you about it. So let's dive deeper about what is it zkEVM, what is it zkSync, etc. So one disclaimer, we have two networks. One, zkSync or V1, actually already in production for almost a year now. No, 2 years. And we have a pretty huge TVL. It's already battle tested, but it's not EVM compatible, and it can do just some general stuff like payments, NFTs, etc. So I think, tomorrow we will release our second version of our network to the mainnet. For some time it will be closed mainnet. It means that we will check everything internally, but in some period of time, you will see also tomorrow our roadmap, so you will understand in which period of time we will start to onboard our partners. So yeah, and today I will tell you a lot about our second version, because it's actually EVM compatible, and that's our main product currently. So I know that you already heard about zero knowledge, about EVMs. I will try to just summarize everything, so that for these persons who don't know what is it will be clear. So yeah, let's start from zero knowledge. Zero knowledge, that's a technology that actually help us to break this blockchain trilemma with scaling. So that's the only one technology which we currently have which can help us to scale Ethereum and bring more audience and enforce mass adoption in future. So what is it exactly? Just for general understanding, we are pretty much like other L2 solutions. So we have L2 and we have blocks, and inside of these blocks we have transactions, and we can execute these blocks outside of L1 inside of our nodes. But during the execution of these nodes, we can create a zero knowledge proof of this execution. So, and we can send this zero knowledge proofs, which actually is purely made by mass, by actually the technology named Snarks. We can send this zero knowledge proof to L1, and Ethereum can validate that is all of our transaction was processed right or not, or we try to steal somebody's money. So in that case, L1 just rejects this block, and actually L1 is controlling the status of our blocks. So we don't have any consensus algorithm like proof of stake or proof of work, because L1 is making all of the work for us, Ethereum itself. So, and we, as I told you previously, why we actually need zkEVM. zk, as a mathematical operations, it's a pretty hard to calculate stuff. So you cannot do it just like with regular EVM, because it's so hard to implement. So because of this, we have to develop it from the scratch, so it will be more suitable for creating these zero knowledge proofs. Because of this, we have a little bit different gas calculation algorithms and all other stuff, but I will explain you it a little bit later. So yeah, as I mentioned previously, our zkEVM is full EVM compatible. It means that you can take everything what you already have for Ethereum and just bring it to us, including code which you have written on Solidity and Viper. Also, we support Web3 interface. It means that most of the toolings work. We also talk about it a little bit later. As I mentioned previously, security inherited from L1, because all of the L1 validators have to validate our zero knowledge proof. Otherwise, we will not just verify this block, and this block will not be finalized. And the censorship resistance is forced via L1. It means that actually nobody can censor your transactions, and you can. And that's just because we have a really strong connection with Ethereum. So let's go deep. We already discussed what is it exactly, zkEVM, and Philip also explained it a lot previously. So now I want to ask you actually why zkEVM, because currently zk is the only tech which we currently have for such scaling in future. And EVM, it's currently de facto lingua franca of the Internet of Value. It means that it's already with us. We already have a lot of protocols in mainnet which are already battle tested with a lot of money on it. So we cannot just go away from it. It's like, JavaScript and all of the websites all over the internet using it. So we just have to be compliant with it and support all of this work which we already did previously. So, and not so long time ago, I think something like 2 months ago, or somewhere in September, Vitalik Buterin released a really cool article about compatibility or equivalence comparison of different L2 solutions. So, and as you can see on the screen, it's not, a strict values, or you have full equivalence, or you have full compatibility. It's like a gradient of values. It's like a specter. So, and here is actually the 5 types. I will go step by step. We will start when we will go to mainnet. Tomorrow we will start with type 4. And we step by step will go to the type 2 and 5. And as you can see, when you have a maximum performance, when you have maximum compatibility but not full equivalence, and if you will trade your compatibility to equivalence, you will grow, you have to trade your performance. So yeah, we already have the same source code. It means that everything what you already did for everything what you already done for Ethereum can be ported to us and actually work without any changes from your side. Our next step in future will be to have the same bytecode, because just imagine you are really big protocol and you already did a lot of security audits and you don't want to have, you know, these security audits one more time. And even some edge cases, when you want to have the same actually bytecode which you have already on Ethereum inside of L2, you can do it. We're currently working on it. So in future we will have a smart contract bytecode interpreter, which will be like kind of middle layer to which you can upload your bytecode from Ethereum, and actually it will work with our network. So actually you will have the same bytecode as on Ethereum. Our third step will be actually to become 100% API compatibility. Currently we almost achieve this goal, but still we have some kind of problems. From mainnet day 1, we will support Ketchup and CHA 256 hashes from the beginning. We're already working with it, and it's actually will be pretty cheap. We do not support currently some of the precompiles, but we will support most of them by the end of this year. So you will see more about it in our roadmap. If you want to check it out, you can check our Medium account tomorrow. You will see our roadmap for future. So, and yeah, so I just want to explain a little bit why we have started from the type 4 and we started to go step by step to type 2 and 5. So here we have the here I can provide some small example. Just imagine that if you will try to for example build Pentium PC and install new macOS on it, it just won't work because your hardware is really old. So we started from another manner. So we started to create, you know, a solid structure, hardware structure on which we create more limitations and improve this stuff. So and because of this, we moving gradually from type 4 to type 2 and a half. And guys, I'm really, previously I mentioned that we are really mission-driven company, and our ethos is actually Ethereum ethos. That's not our technology, it's yours. So because of this, we have permissive MIT license for all of our code. Inside of our roadmap, you will see agenda of open sourcing some parts of our application. So we don't want, you know, to limit you somehow. And in future, Mate Labs will be like a supporter of this ecosystem and not actually, you know, like a founder like other L2 solutions sometimes have. So in future, you have no need for Mate Labs collaboration or approval to change something. The network will be owned and governed by the community. Permissive license allow usage. You don't have to. You don't need us to make anything. So in future it will be like, you know, like by product, and it will be like the whole ecosystem which will be built by you. Because of this, we already have zkDAO, a lot of grants, and we really want to work with passionate developers so that we can you know, grow our ecosystem together. And that's really important for us because, you know, each day we have a lot of communication about decentralization, about how we can share even our documentation website so that each of you can participate and write articles or tutorials, etc. So that's really, you know, our main idea. And now let's talk about features. So first feature is actually we are fully toolchain compatible. It means that you can use the same tools as you're currently using on Ethereum. Starting from Hardhat, we already have some plugins for it. In future, we will enhance it. Currently, we are working to make integration with test frameworks, etc. So you don't need to to change your mind to be compliant with us and to make something greater with us. Yep, no need to change your workflow and processes. You can already check our ecosystem website, see a lot of different partners who are working with us. Some of them already live, some of them just committed to deploy with us, some of them working with V1. So yep, you can check that a lot of things we will support in future. And here actually, I have a pretty cool story. I joined the company 1 year ago, and I have been there when we started to check our V2 in closed testnet. It means that nobody from outside can access to it. And we need a block explorer for it. So we decided to set up a Block Scout. So Block Scout is a open source block explorer for EVM compatible chains, and actually it works out of the box. So I, as a product person, set up it by myself, almost without changes to the code. So you can, this example can, show you that we are fully EVM compatible, and everything will work almost out of the box. The second feature, that's really nice feature. We have a dedicated article inside of our Medium account about it. You can read more about it. So in future, we will have simultaneously two accounts for each user inside of our ecosystem. So just imagine, here what we're currently releasing is a roll-up part. So it means that we will be secured by L1, by Ethereum validators. And we will send this proof of the zero knowledge proofs to L1, all of the validators will validate it, and we will finalize the block. But in future, we want to scale it even more. We want to have an exponential gain in throughput up to 20,000 TPS. So for that purposes, we are building simultaneously the second tree. So it will be the zkPorter. It will be like a shard of zkSync, but which will work not with Ethereum, but with our own guardians. Guardians is kind of our naming for proof of stake participants, but they actually will not validate or verify our zero knowledge proofs. They will work on data availability off chain. So in future it will be proof of stake kind of system, but it will be more secure even that than for example other L2 solutions, just because our guardians cannot corrupt the state. They cannot steal your money. They can in some some bad situations they can just freeze the state, but in that case they also will freeze their own staked assets. So we will talk about it a lot more in future. I think we will have a dedicated lectures about it, but just you have to know that these accounts could be seamless interoperable. It means in future, if you want to somehow interact with main cool big protocols like Uniswap, MakerDAO, etc., you can use zkRollup. And simultaneously, inside of one transaction, you can make transaction between some accounts in zkPorter route. And it will be much cheaper and much faster than our zkRollup part. Okay, now let's talk about account abstraction. I know Philip already told you about it, so I just want to show you, give you some kind of couple of examples how actually it can improve our UX for max adoption. Because we are currently, to make crypto really into masses, we have to not only work on throughput, speed, and low fees, etc., but we also have to think about UX. Because currently, for example, I'm pretty sure that all of you have credit cards. And when you're using your credit card, you don't think about a lot of different things, like for example, how money will come to the owner of the shop, or how much fees I have to pay for this transaction, etc. So for you, UX is pretty simple, and with account abstraction, you can do that. So long story short, for those who don't know what is it, it means that all of the accounts inside of our network by default, it's a smart contracts, so that you can write a new logic inside of the smart contract. So for example, Argent already using it for social recovery, so no need for any seed phrases or memorization, some this kind of stuff. Also, actually, you can visit their website. They have a pretty long written series of blog posts about what is it actually account abstraction and how you can work with it, etc. So you can protocols in future can pay gas for their customers, like DiDX doing for their. You can think about special applications use cases. You can make a several transaction within one click. So here is a lot more which, what you can do with that. And also Ethereum also thinking about it. So I told you before that our SOS is pretty similar to Ethereum one. So Ethereum also thinking about it, but because we are building from the scratch, we don't have this legacy and big community. Now we can bring new features faster to you than it can make Ethereum. So the second feature is meta transactions. That's actually, if you already tried our portal, I think 1 or 2 months ago, before we released this feature as a paymasters, you could see that you can pay fees in any asset. So don't need to make a swap or have an Ethereum inside of our network to make a transaction. So you make you can pay a fee in the same asset in which you are making this transaction, and that's so cool. But we gone even beyond that. So now you can create your own paymaster, and you can work more deeply with the fee logic. It means that, for example, you can subsidize customers of your smart contracts, pay fees for them, or some part of the fees. Or if you want create some, I don't know, hard and interesting fees logic, you can use paymaster for it, and it will help you to work with this fee. So it gives you a lot more flexibility on how you can handle payments for your application, and you cannot make it with L1. But our network can provide for you these opportunities and these benefits. And now let's talk about developers' perspective, because all of us is developers mostly, I hope. So let's go. Let's go with answering first initial question. What about migrating existing code bases? And in most of the cases, you don't need to make any changes to your Solidity or Viper code. Almost everything will work out of the hood. So you just have to, out of the box. So you just have to actually deploy it. We have a slightly different process of deployment, but you can install our Hardhead plugin, for example, and in CLI it's just 2 commands and everything will be deployed into the zkSync network. So most of the things will work out of the box and you don't have to make any changes. That's so important. Here I have an example of interaction with smart contract. As I told you previously, we are fully EVM compatible. It means that we can our network can work with others JS, and it will be fine. But if you want to work with our new features which I explained above, feel free to just change one import. You can see on the screen. So we just changing one import. Our SDK, JS SDK, working pretty much similar how works Other.js, and everything will work out of the box. If you want to write down some interesting new logic for fees, for example, so that this request to this smart contract will use custom fee. Give me a sec. Yep. So, and you will see that you can just expand this function and write your own logic there. But your previous logic will work out of the box. Currently, we already have JS SDK, and in really closest time we will have more. We will have Python, Golang SDK, and etc. You will see everything inside of our roadmap, so that even if you don't want to write in JavaScript or TypeScript, for example, feel free to use our other SDKs. And let's talk about permanent and changes and differences. As I mentioned previously, we are EVM compatible, but we are not actually, a normal EVM. Because of this, we have some changes inside of our technology. For example, create and create2 addresses derivation will differ, and that's how it is. Self-destruct will be deprecated. Ethereum also hitting the same way with other APIs, so I think that's fine. And as I mentioned previously, we are just moving forward, with this stuff. Gas pricing will differ, and that's just because inside of zero knowledge environment, some of the opcodes can be much harder to implement for us from the technical perspective to make a proof for these opcodes in future. Because of this, gas pricing will differ, and yep, that's how it is. And we don't want to go above, because I think I will return to previous slides, to this one. Type 1 and type 2 doesn't have any point for L2s, because we don't want to have the same block root with Ethereum. That's just some really strange use cases when you can have it. Gas calculation also really bind you with the requirements of what and how you can execute opcodes and smart contracts inside of your environment. So we will stay here as a type 2.5. Not supported yet. As I mentioned previously, some of the open Zeppelin libs will not work, but as I said, yet. So in the closest time, we will make full support of such things. For example, I don't know, I forget, upgradable smart contracts. Yep, we are currently working to support it, and it will be available in the closest time. But now, yep, we don't support it. Some tools needs adaptation. For example, like Hardhat plugins, on which we are currently working, and a lot of other small stuff. But in general, most of the tools will work out of the box, but some of them just need, a slight changes from the settings perspective. All other stuff will work. Some crypto precompiles also will not work, but as I mentioned previously, by the end of the year, maybe a little bit longer, we will try to cover everything, and everything will work. Hashes and recover will work from the day one. Frontend, Web3 API. As I mentioned previously, everything will work out of the box. So here you can see that we support legacy transaction formats. We have fully Web3 API, which is compatible for queries, custom SDK for more flexibility, Others.js compatible API, and other languages SDK, as I mentioned. And last feature, but not the least in our priorities list, it's L1, L2 messaging. So that's so cool, and to be honest, I'm so passionate about this feature that just imagine if you want to change the state. You executed some transaction L2, and you want to change the state of some L1 smart contract, for example, and you need something for it. So we implemented this L1 L2 messages. It's just kind of a webhook, so you can emit some changes from the what's going on inside of L2 to L1, and set up your L1 smart contract to just hear this kind of webhooks and make something inside of it. So that's so cool. In future, we will add support of this feature into our block explorer, so you can even see L1, L2 messages for all of the smart contracts which implemented this feature. And let's talk about security. That's the last part, almost the last part of our today's workshop. As I mentioned previously, we currently fully inherit security of L1, because finalization of our blocks is fully depend on validators of Ethereum. And as all of you know, that it's so hard to somehow hack this system, I mean Ethereum. So we are fully depends on them. Because of this, currently we are pretty centralized, but that's fine. In future we will work on it. But is because currently we are slightly centralized, we are not, trading on our security, because Ethereum with us, and Ethereum always verifying all of our blocks, all of our transactions. Also in future, if you, for example, just imagine, you can see that we have some problems inside of the company and we want to steal your money, for example, etc. And we just, shut down all of our servers, etc. You can initiate an exit from L1. So for all zk rollup users, we are not talking currently about zkPorter. That's a little bit, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but yep, still. You don't have to, rely on us to take your money away from our protocol. And that's really, really important feature. We are really, aware about our users' money, and that's so important for us. So that, yep, let's go deeper. Safe migration, as I mentioned previously, because you don't need to make any changes to your existing code. Actually, if you already did some of security audits on L1, you don't have to make it one more time here, because everything will work out of the box. So no need any additional security audits after porting your application to zkSync network. So guys, that's pretty much it for today from my perspective about which exactly information I wanted to share with you. So you can continue your journey with zkSync. We are exploring our network on explorer.zkSync.io. That's our block explorer. In the top navigation bar, you can find our portal. That's our wallet /faucet/bridge, and you can find a link to the documentation. Most of the things which I described today, such as paymasters or L1, L2 communications, you can find a lot of tutorials with code inside of our documentation, so it will help you to start to work with these features. Or you can scan QR code, which you can currently see on the screen. So yeah, but now I think Q&A. I will check out our chat, and I will start to answer your questions. And if you have one, feel free to ping me inside of our chat so that I will answer your question. Rust can't be used. Oh, that's actually a pretty interesting question. We are actually using internally Rust, and we have kind of SDK for Rust. I think it will be available for other developers in the I can't say the closest future, but I think you will definitely see it inside of our roadmap. So in some point of time we will support it. Is the last point still relevant with the latest OFAC situation? Yep, that's true. I did my own research about it. So, long story short, and I know that some of you already asked Philip about it on our previous workshop. So, it's really hard for Ethereum, for example, to try somehow limit and restrict you to use some of the smart contracts, etc. And as you can see with the OFAC violations, they blocked a lot of Web2 applications for. I think you're talking about Tornado Cash. So currently, it's not possible. And we want to move forward with the market, and it's so hard to make these restrictions on the hardware side. I mean, inside of the node, so that we can somehow restrict some of the transaction or censor you. So I hope that I have answered your questions here. It will be so hard to do, and yep, nobody in the market currently going into this direction as far as I know at this moment. Does that mean you will have a zkSync token validators will need to stake on the Porter sidechain? Yep, Porter sidechain will have a proof of stake consensus algorithm, and yep, they will stake their tokens. Which is going to win zk rollups or optimistic rollups, or both coexist? Oh, that's actually a pretty interesting question. I will try to be clear. So I think from the technical perspective, Philip already told you about it, and I think you already know that we are better for when we are talking about finality time, because when you are making cross transactions with L1, you have to in V1 you currently have to wait something like 5 hours, but in Optimism you just have to wait for a weeks, and here's still a lot of space for not a good players which can bring something bad into state of your blocks, etc. So with us, as I mentioned previously, on V1 we currently have something like 5 hours in average, but with the launch of V2 we expect that it will be much lesser than this, so it's up to minutes in future, because actually with more audience which will go to our network, we will have shorter blocks and we will deliver them faster to L1, so you can get your money on L1 or on any other L2s when we will have a cross chain just in a minute, and don't wait for a weeks. It's just imagine for you even right now, that's unbelievable, for you to make a transaction to another country and just wait for a weeks. I worked previously in fintech a lot, and I know how painful it is for the users, so we want to improve that. Is there any network of relayer nodes? Oh, that's an interesting question. I think you can find me inside. I will share with you my nickname in our Discord, so I will answer this question after the meeting. So feel free to just ping me after that, and I will be happy. Yeah, fintech is a big use case. So even that's okay to be okay with this pretty long verification on optimistic rollups if you are making a lot of things inside of L2 and you do not cooperate with L1 or with other L2s. We believe that in future it will be a lot of, I personally believe that in future will be a lot of different blockchains and they will simultaneously coexist. And even in this coexist phase, you still have to somehow communicate and believe each other. And because of this, you just can't be fine with such big delays in transactions. Do you see use cases of contract accounts deployed by non-wallet teams? I feel like account abstract can be used without wallet integration. I already asked Philip this question, but wanted your opinion too. Okay, so that's interesting. I think we have to have a dedicated even meeting for it, maybe some even workshop, because account abstraction, which we currently implemented inside of our network, is it's a pretty big topic which we actually have to discuss. So just do not take a lot of your time here. It can be used without wallet integration, as far as I know, and we already have a couple of discussions with developers who are trying to making such things. So if you want, you can also ping me inside of Discord, and I will give you a really long answer about it. What is finality time? So yep, currently actually you will see it tomorrow, so I don't want to be I don't want to tell you a lot of information. Tomorrow you can just visit our new block explorer. Inside of this new block explorer you will find inside of the network picker mainnet network, and you will see all of the numbers. Of course, for some time it's still work in progress, so we will work a lot on our block explorer and on the protocol itself, but yep, you will see all of these numbers by yourself. Okay guys, any other questions? It's so hard for me to make this kind of presentations, because I can see your faces, and I can see this feedback from the audience. Maybe I was so boring, so that you just fall asleep.
No, this is very good. Very good presentation. Great questions as well. Keep them coming, guys. I think we're on a good roll here as we still have Andrey on call. Might as well use the time.
Yep, I'm still here. I will share my presentation with you guys. Also, feel free to just ping me inside of our Discord or inside of Telegram group. I'm always here, and or our community managers will ping me, and I will answer you. So we are always happy to talk with you guys. So if you will have any questions, feel free to ping me. I will be right away. Yep.
Yeah, I think the Discord was shared a little bit earlier, so check that out. Join the Discord as well as our Discord and get in there and chatting. I think that's gonna round it out today. If there's no other questions, big thanks to zkSync and everything they're doing with us, and Andrey for joining us today, as well as Philip for the last workshop. I know there's a lot of cool stuff on the horizon and kind of waiting to see what's next. So thanks again for joining us, and we will see you all shortly, or at the finale at least.
Yep, that's true. Okay, thanks a lot, guys, for having me. Yep, so have a nice day.
Thanks. Have a great day. Bye bye.